I hope you've all guessed by the wonderful gates and the drive that we drove down this morning. I am at the wonderful Baden Hall Fisheries on the Quarry Lake. It's a big lake, some nice fish in here. The rods are out, bait's out, just ready for that all-important bite. I'm in peg number 3. We didn't do very well on the draw. I think we come out about 4th or 5th, but we went 1, 3, 4 and 7. So I chose peg 3, and I'm very glad that I did, because whilst I've been setting up and get everything ready in the shed, I've seen a few fish crashing towards that willow over there in my water. So I've clipped up 15 wraps and I've put a 4-foot zig on black foam out straight into their direction. Hit the clip wonderful. Felt the drop was quite nice actually. But yeah, just waiting for that all important first bite. I wouldn't normally put out zigs, but a couple of weekends ago I was fishing a park lake and I put out a zig, just 1.5 foot, as the park lake's not deep at all. And yeah, I had my first fish. On a zig. It was £19.7. So yeah, but yeah, everything's all sorted. Just waiting for the last person of our group to arrive and get set up so they can start fishing. But yeah, cannot wait at all. I'm hopeful for a bite. I have had a few problems. My spod did crack off, not once but twice, so I've lost both of my spods for the trip. Not sure what happened. I think the braid just gave in, to be fair. But yeah, so looks like I'm gonna have to pop to the tackle shop at Baden Hall and get myself a new spod, unless it floats down into one of them end pegs, which when the other person in our group comes, I'm just going to ask him to watch me rod so I can go have a chat, see if they can get it out for me. But yeah, not fishing far at all on my left rod. It's 10.5 wraps. Found a lovely gravel area. Where everywhere else, I don't know if you can see by the bottom. Yeah, so there's patches of gravel and then there's low-lying weed, and then it gets a bit thicker as you go further out. It's 6 foot, because I don't really want to be going too deep. If you go really far out, you're looking about 12 foot, so it's not, I don't want to be in the 12 foot just yet. So 6.5 foot to 6 feet is perfect for me. I've gone with a Ronnie rig on a Sparbaits pop-up, one of the washed out yellow cyber spies. But yeah, I'm buzzing, glad to be out on the bank again, and glad to be fishing a place that I've never fished before. And I hope that there's a few fish to be landed. So I'll update you guys in a bit. I'll show you the rigs and whatnot a bit later on when everyone's settled, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Right, well, ladies and gents, didn't really give you much updates yesterday. We was all basically just having a bit of a social, having a few beers and having a laugh. But yeah, nothing has happened yet. For me and Ash, but Lee over in peg 7, he's had 2. He's had a 40 and a 30, and Ant in peg 1, he's also had a fish, and that is another 30. So 3 fish have come out that I know of, and they've all come to obviously the group that I'm with. I did decide to make a change yesterday, so on my left rod I did have a Ronnie rig. It's down here. Ronnie rig on a yellow pop-up on a voodoo, but that did nothing. And then when I brought it back in, it was full of weed and weeded up solid. So not too sure. If I didn't have me top bead, well, I didn't have my top bead high enough, if I'm honest. It should have been a lot higher than it was. But yeah, I changed that over, as when I brought that rod back in, I tried to find that spot again, but yeah, I just couldn't get a drop. So I've got my marker rod back out, which some people say don't do if you've already settled in a swim, but got the marker rod back out, and yeah, the spot had pretty much, could not for the life of me find it again. And then as I was going to cast out me marker rod one more time, a fish topped straight out in front of me. There's a dead tree over on the far bank, and a fish topped over there. So I had the ready tied zigs that Corda do, and I just put a bit of black foam on there, chopped it down to 5 foot, as I try something a bit higher in the water, and then just fired that straight out at it. I think I clipped it up about 15-16 wraps. Hit the clip lovely. Even watched the zig and the hook and the foam. I even watched them fall away from the lead as they entered the water. But yeah, nothing's happened from there. I am tempted to maybe chop it down a bit and maybe go for a 3 foot zig instead of higher up in the water column, because they seem to be a bit lower down, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's just full of weed. The guy in peg 5 is going, so I'm going to have a word with Ash to see if he wants to go in 5, or if he's all right with me moving in 5, and then ring the bailiff and just say, would I be able to switch over and get 5. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's been quiet for me, been quiet for Ash. Obviously Lee's had 2 and Ant's had 1. Not too sure what he's had them on yet, but woke up to some lovely pictures of some fish, which I'll speak to them and see if I can stick them in my video, just so there is a picture of a fish on here. But yeah, put the camera back down now, finish my cup of tea, wait for the sun to come up properly, and see what happens. So I'll update you guys a bit later on. Sunday morning now, about 7 o'clock. Been up since 6, been watching the water. There's been quite a few fish showing this morning, which was unlike yesterday. Yesterday there wasn't much showing. Couple in front of peg 4, couple in front of peg 3, and then I've just seen 2, one after another, come up right on my spot. So I'm fishing 16.5 wraps. 16.5 wraps towards the far bank. It's sort of in between the two huts on the other side. I think it's 11, maybe 12 and 13, or 11 and 12. I'm not too sure which ones they actually are, but I've just seen 2 come up right on my spot. So I'm hopeful for a bite. There's a bit of slicking coming up now as well. I've got it on Ronnie rigs, but oh, there's another one there. I've got them on Ronnie rigs, but I've got them on wafters. But I've taken the putty off the Ronnie, so it sits nicely on top of any debris or any weed, low-lying weed that's out there. I've tested it in the margin and it sits perfectly. The hook's lying nice and flat on the lake bed, the wafters wafting up in the air. But yeah, I'm not too sure whether, I know they're presented because yesterday when I recast my rods, clipped them up at 16.5, felt the lead down. It was a soft drop, it wasn't like a hard donk, but then I brought the rig back in across the bottom, dragged it across the bottom, and then reeled in as fast as I could to get it up off the bottom, just past my swim, and then there was no weed or anything on my hook or on my lead. So I am hopeful, but I really don't want to, but I'm tempted to bring one of my rods in and put out a spinner on a pop-up, which I've got sitting here waiting. I have clipped it up to 22 because that's my max distance, because they were showing a bit beyond me earlier this morning. But seeing those two fish crash pretty much on me, I'm not going to touch them now. I'm just going to wait and see what happens, and then if they do decide to push back a little bit further, I will probably reel one in and cast that out straight on their heads. There is apparently like a weed bed down there, but I've got my top bead pushed up high enough on my leader, so it should be fine. Fishing helicopter rigs, 4-ounce drop-off lead. So yeah, I am hopeful for a bite. Updates have been few and far between, but we're having a nice little social and having a few beers and watching the football. But yeah, I will show you the rig. Obviously, it's just a normal Ronnie, about 6 inches, with a pop-up on and a bit of putty on the crimp, with a size 6 spinner rig that Corder have brought out, and a 16mm cyberspice yellow pop-up. It's been soaked in a bit of the Corder goo. But yeah, my mix consisted of Voodoo and cyberspice boilies with sweet corn, and a bit of pellets that I had over from fishing at Millbrook. And then I've soaked that in some FSB glug, and that gives it nice slick when you're spodding. Another one's just boshed out just past the birds. I don't know if you can see, but another one's just boshed out. Oh, I think it might be a bird actually getting attacked by a pike. Not too sure because there's a bit of flapping going on in the water. But yeah, we'll see what happens, see what the rest of the morning brings. We've got till 11 o'clock anyway, so I'm hopeful for a bite to come, but we'll just have to see what happens, and I'll update you guys as and when, or if anything happens. Well, it's another session done. Unfortunately, wasn't able to bank a fish this time, but hey ho, that's fishing, and that's why they call it fishing and not catching. But yeah, well happy for Lee and Ant, especially Lee. He lives down London ways, and he's been up to Staffordshire 4 or 5 times now, and was yet to catch a fish from Staffordshire. Just loading the rest of the stuff up in my car now, ready to go. But yeah, 40 and a 30, and then a 30 for Ant. So yeah, well pleased for the both of them. I am booked back on the Quarry Lake actually on the 20th of October. I'm booked on for till the 24th, but I might extend that booking and go Friday till Friday, as I've had a look at the availabilities and there seems to be quite a lot available. But yeah, in the car now, everything's loaded up, ready to go home. Might stop off at the cafe and have a quick burger, but yeah, so I'll see you guys later.